The nightmare begins as an enormous queen creature raises the upper part of her body, silently commanding her vast army to advance. In an instant, monstrous beings swarm toward a colossal fortress, scaling its towering walls with terrifying speed. Soldiers stationed above unleash everything they have, raining attacks down upon the climbing creatures. But the defenders quickly realize that brute force alone will not stop this invasion. The creatures crash onto the battlements like a living tide, overwhelming the guards and turning the once secure walls into a battlefield filled with chaos, fear, and desperate survival. Amid the violent struggle, two prisoners named William and Tovar find themselves bound and helpless. Their fate seems sealed until they spot an elderly man hiding behind a nearby wall. Desperately pleading for freedom, they convince him to cut their ropes. The moment William is released, he grabs a massive spear and drives it straight into a creature's body. Another monster lunges toward him, but with remarkable precision he blinds it through the eye. As the battle rages around them, William repeatedly throws himself into danger, even saving a soldier moments before certain death. Together, William and Tovar fight with incredible courage until the creature queen orders a retreat, causing the entire swarm to withdraw from the fortress. The grateful commanders praise William and Tovar for their bravery, revealing that the fortress survived only because they had provided a crucial warning. Days earlier, the two men and their companions had been discussing a mysterious weapon known as black powder, a substance capable of causing devastating destruction with a single spark. Their conversation was interrupted when an unseen predator struck from the darkness, killing two of their friends in seconds. Forced to fight for survival, William managed to sever one of the creature's limbs before it plunged into a ravine. Realizing the importance of the severed arm, he carried it with him, unaware that it would soon reveal a terrifying truth. At dawn, William and Tovar ride away carrying the strange limb, only to find themselves pursued by ruthless bandits. Their escape leads them to an enormous structure known as the Great Wall, guarded by heavily armed soldiers. Trapped between enemies behind them and unknown warriors ahead, the two travelers make a desperate choice and surrender their weapons. Taken inside the fortress as prisoners, they present the severed arm to the commanders. The reaction is immediate and alarming. The military leaders recognize the limb at once and are filled with dread, understanding that a long-forgotten threat has returned after decades of silence. Commander Lin demands answers about the severed arm, and William explains how he cut it from a deadly creature after it slaughtered his companions. The revelation terrifies the commanders because the creatures, known as Tao Ti, have not appeared for 60 years. Before further questions can be asked, a scout rushes in with alarming news. Countless Tao Ti are approaching the wall. The fortress instantly mobilizes. Soldiers arm themselves and race to defensive positions while William and Tovar are tied up and left under guard. Soon the horizon fills with an endless sea of monsters. The defenders unleash arrows and weapons, and as the Tao Ti begin scaling the walls, William and Tovar once again prove their worth by helping repel the attack. Following the battle, William becomes a celebrated hero within the fortress. A soldier whose life he saved personally thanks him, while an old man reveals a surprising secret. He explains that he arrived at the Great Wall 25 years earlier searching for black powder but never managed to leave. Showing William and Tovar a sample, he demonstrates its incredible power. Tempted by the wealth it could bring, the old man proposes stealing the substance and escaping together. He believes the next Tao Ti attack will create the perfect distraction. While Tovar is intrigued by the plan, William begins to hesitate, finding himself increasingly drawn to the honor and purpose of the warriors defending the wall. William is invited to dine with the commanders and demonstrate his skills. In front of an impressed audience, he performs a breathtaking archery feat, firing multiple arrows with such accuracy that everyone is left astonished. Later, the generals examine a strange magnet discovered among William's belongings. They reveal an extraordinary discovery. The Tao Ti become weak and passive whenever they approach the magnetic stone. The commanders then explain the creature's origin, describing how they emerged from mysterious forces awakened by an ancient volcanic event. The Tao Ti return every 60 years, driven by an endless hunger, and all of them are controlled by a single queen whose survival determines the fate of the entire species. The generals reveal the horrifying truth that every Tao Ti obeys its queen completely. If she dies, the entire swarm will perish with her. Unfortunately, reaching her is nearly impossible because thousands of creatures constantly shield her from harm. Before the discussion can continue, an alarm sounds from the wall. Soldiers rush to investigate and discover a lone Tao Ti approaching at incredible speed. The creature attacks with terrifying force, knocking warriors aside like toys. During the struggle, the general sacrifices himself to save Commander Lin, driving his sword into the monster even as it fatally wounds him. His death shocks the fortress and leaves everyone mourning a respected leader. Determined to learn more about the enemy, William proposes capturing a live Tao Ti and testing the magnet on it. Commander Lin questions the feasibility of the plan, while Tovar grows increasingly frustrated with William's loyalty to the fortress. He reminds his friend that they came seeking black powder, not glory. William refuses to abandon the people who have accepted him. Meanwhile, preparations begin for another assault. Soldiers coat their weapons with a toxic yellow substance and take positions along the wall. Dense fog blankets the landscape, reducing visibility and creating a tense atmosphere as everyone waits for the next wave of monsters. The Tao Ti attack once again, climbing through the fog toward the fortress. Massive defensive mechanisms slice through the advancing creatures, while enormous harpoons coated in poison strike deep into the swarm. Although many monsters are wounded, their comrades remove the harpoons and continue the assault. One creature becomes entangled, and William advises the soldiers to stop pulling so hard. He believes the poison will weaken the beast over time. After waiting patiently, William descends below the wall using chains, entering the fog-covered battlefield alone. Surrounded by dead and dying creatures, he cautiously searches for the trapped Tao Ti. Moving carefully through the mist, William locates the weakened creature and secures it with a chain. Just as success seems certain, another Tao Ti emerges from the fog and attacks. William kills it with a precise arrow shot, but danger continues to close in from every direction. Tovar arrives at the last moment to save him from another ambush. The friends argue once more about their future, yet their disagreement is interrupted when countless Tao Ti begin converging on their position. Realizing they cannot survive alone, William signals the fortress for help. Above them, the soldiers prepare a devastating new weapon fueled by black powder. Explosive arrows rain down from the wall, detonating among the Tao Ti and tearing them apart with thunderous force. The battlefield erupts in fire and destruction. Amid the chaos, one explosion lands dangerously close to William, severely injuring him. Nevertheless, the attack succeeds in driving the creatures back. William and Tovar return to the fortress with their captured specimen. The Tao Ti is locked inside a cage where it violently struggles until the magnetic stone is brought near. Instantly, the creature becomes calm and motionless, confirming the theory. The commanders finally understand that the magnet can neutralize the monsters and may be the key to defeating them. Soldiers prepare an expedition. Tovar and the old man secretly steal black powder and attempt to escape. William intercepts them and pleads for them to stay, arguing that helping the defenders is more important than wealth. Tovar refuses to listen. During the confrontation, the old man knocks William unconscious, allowing them to flee. A nearby soldier witnesses the entire event. When William awakens, he is imprisoned under suspicion of helping the thieves. Commander Lin questions him harshly, but the witness confirms William tried to stop the theft. Despite the testimony, William is locked away. Days later, he emerges from captivity to find devastation everywhere. The fortress has suffered a catastrophic defeat, and the Tao Ti have broken through defenses, advancing toward the city itself. Survivors speak hopelessly of inevitable destruction. They even offer William all the black powder he could carry because they believe nothing can save them anymore. Refusing to surrender, William asks whether any solution remains. The answer is grim but clear. The only chance is to kill the queen. Unfortunately, she is constantly protected by thousands of loyal creatures, making such a mission nearly impossible. As the Tao Ti close in, William hands Lin an explosive black powder charge. She throws it into the swarm, creating a massive blast that annihilates the surrounding monsters. The pair then retreat to a secure location where a captured Tao Ti has been transformed into a living bomb. Black powder charges are attached to its body, and meat is placed before it. Their plan is simple but dangerous. Allow the creature to return to its queen and detonate the explosives nearby. Suddenly more Tao Ti attack. During the struggle, the very soldier whose life William saved earlier is severely wounded defending the mission. William reassures the injured soldier, promising they will return for him, but events take a tragic turn. Another Tao Ti approaches, and the wounded warrior sacrifices himself by igniting black powder attached to his body, killing both himself and the creature in a heroic explosion. The remaining fighters remove the magnet from the captive Tao Ti, allowing it to awaken and begin traveling toward its queen. William is encouraged because the creature now carries enough explosives to destroy their ultimate target. Believing a higher vantage point will increase their chances, he and Commander Lin race upward to prepare for the decisive moment. From above, William watches the explosive-laden Tao Ti move toward the queen. Meanwhile, another warrior throws him the precious magnet before being killed by the advancing swarm. Knowing everything now depends on him, William prepares a black powder arrow and aims at the queen. His first attempt fails when the surrounding creatures shield her. A second shot also proves unsuccessful, and this time the queen notices him. Instantly, countless Tao Ti begin climbing toward William and Lin. With only one arrow remaining and enemies closing in from all sides, the final battle reaches its most desperate stage. As the creatures swarm upward, Lin and William leap away using a rope. While airborne, William throws the magnetic stone directly into the center of the advancing Tao Ti. The effect is immediate. The monsters freeze, creating the opening he desperately needs. William releases his final shot toward the explosives near the queen. For a terrifying moment nothing happens, and it appears the mission has failed. Then a tiny spark ignites. Seconds later, a colossal explosion tears through the swarm, killing the queen instantly. With their ruler dead, millions of Tao Ti collapse lifelessly across the battlefield, ending the nightmare at last. Peace finally returns to the fortress. Tovar remains imprisoned until William arrives with unexpected news. Given a choice between taking as much black powder as he desires or securing his friend's freedom, William chooses loyalty over wealth. Tovar is released, stunned by the decision. Commander Lin, now elevated to an even greater position of authority, personally thanks William for saving countless lives. As the story comes to an end, William and Tovar depart on horseback, escorted by soldiers toward their next destination. Watching them leave, Lin reflects on everything they endured, and the legend of their courage lives on long after the battle is over.